Howdy folks, welcome back to Fishing on Mile Arc. We are in Florida today for leg 10 of our 50 states tour, which means after this leg we'll be 20% done with our tour already. It's going by quite quickly. But we are in Florida. We're not going to do Disney, we're not going to do Orlando, we're not going to do Miami, we're not going to do the Keys. We're not going to do Tallahassee. We are way up at Alpha 51, not Area 51. Alpha 51, which is Costin Airport, or Costin Airport in Port St. Joe, Florida. Way up northwest area of the panhandle. You don't really hear about this part of Florida very much. I thought it'd be fun to fly here. We're going to fly a little short few miles to the southeast, which will get us to St. George, with this Foxtrot 47 in Apalachicola, Florida. Apalachicola, Florida, maybe. However, wind and clouds are a factor because I really wanted to turn on and we have 16 knot winds plus gusts, but I wanted to take the little trike. So the problem with that is that it's very windy for this thing and the clouds are getting lower and lower. When I started this sim, they were up a couple thousand feet. Wasn't going to be a problem. Now they seem to be pretty low. So we might have to turn off weather or maybe keep the clouds but turn off winds. I'm not sure if that's even a possibility, but I'm going to try to take off anyway, and then we'll make adjustments to the weather once we're in the air. Otherwise, that's the plan. Cute little flight, part of Florida I've never even heard of. Of course, I knew this area existed because I know what Florida looks like, but you don't hear much about this, especially in Flight Simulator. So let's hop in and take care of this thing. We're on runway. I can't remember what runway we're on. I just picked one with the wind. It was like 14 or something. What does it say? Whoa, wrong button. What does it say? Still wrong button. Goodness, let's try that again. There we go. I don't see a compass on here. Yes, I do. Right in front of my face. There. Must be like runway 18-ish, give or take. Let's see. There's our destination, Foxtrot 47. We're just going to go a little skip across here. And, yep, runway 18. Okay. So, runway 18, not 14. We're just going to come down here, completely visual, which means we're going to be using this map. This is like our iPad on our laps with real-time location on it. So you can see the outside of Florida here now. Now I can get an idea where we are. Anyway. We're going to use this to get there. We're just going to come down until you see water, turn left, follow the shoreline until we find our airport, which is way over here. So we might go over some open water. We'll see. We'll just have to see how it goes. So I have a feeling that's a little bit longer than I thought it was, though, to be honest. So I might have to get going on this thing. Oh, no, I don't want that. I want the actual airport so I can get our stuff. Here we go. 12 now, get updated. 26 at 12. We're on 18 as close as we can get to that. 299 or 2 though. I guess we're so close to the ocean maybe. No, that has nothing to do with it. Alrighty. Anyway, 299 or 2 once we get started up. Some crosswind from the right. We'll do the best we can. So throttles forward, not throttles, mixture forward. Throttles forward a little bit. Now if I can remember, there it is, my overhead is up here. So we want to do primer a few times, doesn't do anything. Megs, I think, up. There we go. We're up. Okay. Master switch on and start. I think that's it. Whoa! How come parking brake isn't on? Let's try to get this. Okay, let's get this back on the runway. That was unexpected. And I have no left rudder. You see the paddle going down. Parking brake? What is going on here? You see my left rudder down on the foot. Now it's going left. Very weird. Now it's not going left again. Look at, see how the left foot pedal is down, but it's going right. See, it's going right. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. Now it's going left. Let's turn around. I love, wait. Maybe I have to turn off wind. Look at, It's blowing us around. It literally just blew us sideways. Are we going to get turned around here? We might have to turn off wind. It might be way too much. Yeah, I think so. Come on. This is hilarious. This was not part of the plan. This was not part of the plan. Parking brake, do you work? I don't think there's a parking brake. At least it doesn't seem to be doing anything. Yes, it is right there. Parking brake, please. Weird. Okay. Anyway, let's turn off the wind because we're already having problems. So let's go to customize. Can we just delete this wind? Okay, do manually configured. And then delete the wind. I can't delete the wind. Yes, I can. I can go 0. 0 wind. What are these clouds at? 2,000 feet. Let's move all these up. Because we can. There we go. Clouds are now off the ground. No wind until we get to 10,000 feet, which we will not be doing. So I think that should take care of it. Gonna update. All right, much better. The cloud should go up a little bit. The wind is away. Okay, are we up and running? Yes, we are. Okay, so I don't believe this has any lights or just anything. I just started it up, turned on the mags. One thing I did do you couldn't see is I made my mixture go forward because I think behind the seat somebody told me that's where the fuel is. The fuel switch. It's back here or somewhere. I haven't found it myself. I just know that I have to turn my conditioners all the way up or my mixture all the way up on my yoke to start this thing. Alright. Are our paddles correct? Yes. Or rudders, I mean, are correct. Everything is fine now. There are flaps, I think. Yes, there are. 2 sets of flaps. So we'll do 1 for takeoff. And now I'm trying to get my composure back after all that drama with the wind. Let's just let go of the parking brake and give this thing a lot of throttle. And let's see if we can take off. Yeah, much better. Okay, that was definitely the wind because now everything is completely normal. And here we go. Airspeed is alive. And up we go. Twitchy, but there we go. Flaps coming in now already. Now everything's working out. Actually, I want to make this my forward view, I think. I'm trying to adjust my presets a little bit so you guys can see what I'm doing as I'm doing things since I don't have a camera on my yoke. Alright, so we're already not anywhere near runway direction, but that's okay. Alrighty, so the plan is to use the iPad on our lap with the real-time location, aka the sim map built in. We'll just keep it like that so we know where the airport is. And move this down. I think it'll return there when I hit it again. Yes, it will. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. Gulf of Mexico. Sightseeing. I don't think this thing has any engine management to worry about. So we're just going to go full speed ahead. Nice and low. Stay below the clouds. I already turned off wind out of necessity. And we're just going to do some sightseeing. So we're just going to take this to the water. Turn left like I said. And then follow the land. And then maybe cut across open water before our descent. Now, of course, wind doesn't mean anything. We turned it off, so I don't care about which one way we land on. But we will check the altimeter. Even though it's 29902 when we started. Otherwise, there'll be some sightseeing. I don't have anything to talk about, really. I don't need to narrate every moment of the flight. Leaves room for sightseeing. I don't have any Florida stories. I've been to Disney twice. I've been to Universal Studios once. I have no opinion about either. I can't do rides anymore anyway. I went on off season for both, so no waiting for anything, which kind of was too much of a good thing because then you would go from ride to ride to ride, and after an hour you were sick. So anyway, no Florida stories other than that. So we are just going to look around here and have some sightseeing, and I will check back with you a little bit. I really don't even have anything to say except check the altimeter when we get closer. So let's see in a little bit. Alright, I already changed my mind. I am going to talk a little bit while we fly around here. I just want to do some sightseeing with you all. It is going to be a very short flight, so looking over the Gulf of Mexico, or out towards the Gulf of Mexico. Obviously we can't see over it. A little bit of land there, though. I wonder what that is. Imagine there's some awesome stuff down there. Whoa. Did my yoke do its funny thing now? Remember we talked about that in the previous video I caught on camera? Nope. Not sure what that was. Anyway, I wonder what that is. Obviously by the time you watch this video I will have looked that up and done research on the area. Always, it looks pretty awesome. Lots of sandy beaches. Huh. That is really cool. This is the type of thing you don't realize when you look at a map. You see there's Florida, there's the Gulf, there's the shape of Florida, but you don't see like these little peninsulas. I'm assuming there's a bunch of resorts down there. High-end living, I would imagine. Very cool. Alrighty, we're at the water like we promised, so we're going to turn left. I'm going to try to turn left. Coordinate the turn as best as possible, although it's completely VFR and fly-by feel, I call it. If it feels good, then it's okay. If it feels terrible, you're doing something wrong. So, we are going to follow this landmass. I believe I'm following the landmass to the right of the split. So let me pull up the map. Yes, I am. And then when we get to the skinny landmass, we'll either fly over the water or just fly along the shore. We'll have to see here. Otherwise, we're going to stay about this altitude. This is a nice safe altitude. What are we, 1,100 feet? No, that's not our altitude. Yes, it is. No, that's our... Yes, it is. 1,500 feet. What's that? That's our vertical speed, right? I can't see that far. Yes, that's our vertical speed. We're climbing 200 feet per minute. Let's not do that. We're at 1,500 feet above sea level. There we go. Familiarize yourself with the aircraft before you fly the aircraft. Otherwise, it looks like you have no idea what you're doing. Yes, we're slowly climbing. Now we're almost 1,600 feet above sea level. What are we going to say about this? I'll trim it out, though, so we can stay there. Otherwise, no lights at all on this thing. No gear, obviously. It's fixed. And it's a trike, but it's not a tail dragger. There's a nose wheel. And what else? Nothing. It's very simple, very fun to fly. Good for VFR stuff like this. Oh, there's like a bus down there. And the trees. That's cool. All the trees block it out. Why are we going wherever once again? My yoke is not responding to me. Anyway, we're just going to follow this road and landmass to the big one. And then when the big one stops and gets skinny, we'll make a decision if we're going to go across the water to the airport or follow the land to the airport. I don't want to get much higher, though, because we're getting kind of into some hazy clouds here, so let's trim this thing down. I believe trim works on this. Yeah, it's coming down. Okay. I don't want to get much above 1,500 feet. Right now we're at almost 17 and a half, so let's not do that either. So we're about done with the big end of the island. There's our narrow strip in the shape of a V if we look at our maps. I think we're going to do is we're going to cut across the water a little bit, but rejoin the land shy of the airport so we can come in for a landing without having to circle the runway. I'm going to get an altimeter here. 2902, same thing, yeah. Wind calm because I turned it off. 3 feet above sea level. So I think what we'll do is we'll cut across the water, get landfall shy of the airport, turn and land on what would that runway 432 that would be, runway 32. That's what we'll do. It's been quite a long flight. I just cut out a lot of it because it was the same sightseeing over and over. So we're cooking along though. What are we doing? 57 knots, 56 knots or so. So about the speed of car traffic. And we're hovering that 1,500 mark. Looks like we're down about 1,400 now in terms of altitude. But we'll just keep at it. See the V in front of us. I have an idea where the airport is. So we're going to cut across the water once we get landfall. And we'll rejoin here in a moment. Otherwise, sightseeing. There's mainland Florida, just off the wing on the side of the water. I don't see any communities or anything here, so I don't know if this is inhabited or just resorts or nothing or too dangerous to do anything over this island. I don't know what this island is. Of course, I'll be looking it up as soon as I land. So if you're from the area and you know what this is, be assured by the time you watch this, I've looked it up too. Unfortunately, I can't comment on it while I make the video because I have no idea where this is. I just know we're hanging out off the coast of Florida over some islands in the slowest airplane ever. But it's fun. I'm just glad the trip isn't much longer because there's not much going on right now. So there's our V, there's our airport off there in the distance. We're gonna come in for landing here pretty soon. I gotta hop back in the cockpit and check my gauges. And a lot of weird stuff happens when we sightsee. I'll catch you again in a moment. Alright, we're slowly going to make our way over to the land. We're just going to go straight to connect with the land, and then we will land at our airport, which if you take binoculars, there's like this little inlet of water here, right there in the middle, and there's a runway right behind it, so that'll be easy to find, but we need to move this way a little bit to set up an approach. We need some type of approach, and if we just go over the land, we will not have a long enough approach. So I'm just going to keep going. I noticed my speed crept up, or my altitude crept up a little bit during sightseeing, so let's start coming down a little bit. We want to get down 1,000 feet before too long anyway, so we'll probably more than likely follow this land mass, whatever this sandbar thing is, but then go out over the ocean to our right and come back for an approach. Now my landing in this thing historically is terrible because I can never tell where the ground is, and I know I talk about that with every tiny airplane, but when you fly a different airplane on an almost daily basis with different runway types, meaning like super wide, super narrow, and that's different on almost daily basis, it gets really hard. So like if I took the turbo aero, for example, and did the same type of runway over and over and over and over and over, I'd get it down in no time. But because I change airplanes and I might have a narrow runway one day, or a very wide runway meant for bigger planes another day, I can just never tell where the ground is. I don't have peripheral vision, so it's hard to look around. I don't track IR, so I can't look to the side quickly. So my whole point of that is I have a hard time landing this thing because I keep thinking around the ground, but we're still like 15 feet up. So then I lose altitude or I stall because I'm thinking I'm touching down, and then we come crashing down. So I'm going to try my darndest to try not to crash into the, well, crash is a wrong word. I don't think I've ever crashed in my landings other than for technical difficulties, which have been awesome when they do happen. But I want to have a nice touchdown in this thing because I haven't had one yet. Alright, let's bring this thing down. Our runway is just, well, I'll send it for you right there, over screen. Just beyond that little water inlet thing. So, okay, so bringing throttles back isn't making us come down. Bringing throttles back is making us slow down. Because normally you use throttles for pitch. I'm sorry, let me say that again. Normally you use throttles for descent rate, pitch for speed. So if I were to keep my pitch the same but then bring throttles back, we should descend, not slow down. However, throttles in this case are making us slow way down, so I'm pitching down to come down and for speed. So I have to pitch down to come down and our speed, which isn't normally how that works, but that's okay. In fact, I'm pitched way down and we're getting very slow. My throttles are almost all the way back, so a little different type of flying. So I'm going to keep my pitch the same to come down, and I'm using throttles for speed, which is not how you normally fly an aircraft. But apparently it's different in an ultralight sport trike, I guess. So I'm using throttles for speed and pitch to come down. Okay, I can go with it. I can be flexible. Anyway, just comment about an area. If you're flying like an area like this in real life, especially because I would imagine this beach is always crowded with tons of people. Maybe, I don't think so. You don't want to fly too close to the water, because if you have, or too close to the land, because if you have a problem, you want to affect as few people as possible. In other words, if you can just affect yourself, if you're going to crash and not take out 100 people on the beach, do that. Just affect yourself. Don't take out 100 people on the beach. So by staying over the water like this, if we have a problem, we can ditch and then just worry about ourselves and not take out a bunch of people. If we're flying too close to shore and we have a problem and we're unable to get out to the water, we could take out a bunch of beachgoers unnecessarily. So think of stuff like that sometimes. Alrighty, so here we go. We're about ready to turn on to final. And again, yeah, our throttle is just controlling our speed, and I'm controlling our descent with pitch. Very interesting. Alright, we'll get flaps out in a moment. I don't think we need to sightsee right now. It's going to be the same stuff we just looked at. So we are just going to fly the plane. We have a very, very, very long runway for this thing. So I'm just going to try to come down and hold it off as long as possible to get a smooth touchdown, even if I land very long. Just because I don't know where the ground is. So 2D airport, which means the runway is probably just a regular default width. But this is a small plane, so I'll probably think we're on the ground, but we have a long ways to go. So, well, again, gotta keep those throttles back and keep that speed up. First set of flaps, I'm just gonna use one set of flaps. Ooh, makes me float. Okay, lots of drag. Throttle, lots of throttle. Okay, here we go. We are, does it say we're at ground level? It says we're at ground level on the altimeter, even though maybe I didn't set that right. I thought I set that right to 2.9 or 902. Doesn't matter now. We're coming in steep. Alright, yeah, I'm using throttles to control speed. Okay, whatever. Pitch for descent. Alright, here we go. It's not a tail dragger. Let's just see. I think I'm on the ground, but I know I'm way up because I'm talking through it. Alright, let's level off. Oh my gosh, oh, this is hard. This is so difficult. Alright, are we ever going to touch down? I can't. I don't want to stall. Alright, let's bring throttles all the way back then. And this coast, let it go. Let it go. Any day now. Are we down? We're down. That was smooth as silk. I didn't even know we were down except for the sound in the sim. I landed almost exactly halfway down the runway, and I did have throttles engaged because I didn't want to stall at those last 10 feet, so I didn't want to bring throttles back and then crash down. And I normally would have had throttles back at the threshold, but I didn't know where the runway was, like in terms of height, so I just wanted to ride it out. So very, very smooth touchdown for the first time. Unfortunately, I landed like half mile further down than I should have. So we're almost getting it. We're almost there. We're learning together. Again, that's part of the channel, is to learn together. So we're just going to turn around here. How those brakes work in this one? They work okay. Flaps can come in. No lights or anything for this thing. We're just going to back taxi to the center point, which is where that taxiway was, and then we'll call it a day here. So anyway, could have been better, but could have been worse. It was a pretty flight, though. Let's taxi outside. There we go. Looking good. So anyway, welcome to Florida. Probably a part of Florida you've never seen before, unless you're from the area, I guess. I'm very excited to look up and see what is going on out there on those land masses and peninsulas and islands and things and little water inlets. But otherwise, if you are a subscriber, thank you for continuing support. If you are new to the channel, please like, please subscribe. Hope you enjoy the 50 state series. Please check the playlist to get the other flights you've missed, and subscribe to our notifications so you get the ones that come in the future. Where we're going next, I don't know. We're probably going to take a break from our 50 state series because we've done like 4 or 5 in a row. So we will probably do at least 1 or 2 other flights that are not part of the series. In other words, get out of the United States for a little bit. Maybe Europe, maybe Africa. I've had a request to do more Africa flights. So anyway, there you have it. Again, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Turn on the notifications to get the other flights. And for my regular subscribers, thank you for joining me yet again. And no matter who you are, I'll catch you on the next one.